everybody, welcome back to the 2018 365 Days of Granny Squares, where we bring you one granny square a day. Today's is number 46, and this one is called Heart Jacket. We will be working in rows instead of, in rows instead of in rounds. I know it's kind of hard to see with my swatch here, but basically it's a heart. Okay, so we're going to be working 12 rows today. And so get your hook, get your yarn. Sorry, the swatch doesn't look nearly as pretty as what this one hopefully looks like. I haven't even tried it in the red yet, honestly, y'all. Okay, so let's start with chaining 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna do 16 more, and I'll get back to you when I have 26 chains. Okay, so we got chain 26. Now we're gonna work a double crochet into the 5th stitch from your hook. So don't count this stitch, but you're gonna count the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're gonna work a double crochet into the 5th chain from our hook. And you're going to work 1 double crochet in each stitch across. This chain here on the end does count as our first double crochet, the one right here. This does count as our first double crochet. So right now we have 3. You're going to work 1 double crochet into each chain across until you have 23 double crochets, counting your first chain 1 here. Okay, so for row 2, I worked 1 double crochet in every chain and I now have 23 double crochets, including my first chain here. Alright, so now row 3, turn your work, and you can chain 3, and that will count as your first double crochet, or you can do a chainless double crochet. I'm going to do a chainless. And now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 10 stitches. So don't work into this one right here, because that's where your chain 3 is holding its spot. Work into that next one right there. Grab my yarn here so I can hide it in the back. And we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 10. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now you're going to chain 1 and skip 1 stitch. So you see we worked into this one, so we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to go into the next one, and we're going to work a double crochet into that stitch. And there's the bottom of our heart formed, that big old gaping hole. Sorry for the camera movement, trying to get the lighting better. Okay, so now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 11 stitches, which should be the remaining of all of your stitches. When you get to the end where the chain is, you're going to work a double crochet into the top chain of that chain. And there's 1 more there. Okay. Let me count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so if you flip it over, you can see your chain here. You can actually see where your actual stitch was, and there's your chain. So you're going to work into that chain right there. You're going to work a double crochet into it. Alright, and there you go. Row 4, turn your work. You can chain 3 or do a chainless double crochet. I'm going to do the chainless, as you all know I do often. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 8 stitches. and I will get back to you when I have worked 8 double crochet. Alright, 8 double crochets have been made. Let's chain 1, skip 1 stitch, put a double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space and put a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1 stitch and work a double crochet into the next stitch, and then complete out the row with double crochets in every stitch to the end. Don't forget to put a double crochet into the top of your chain 3, or if you did the chainless double crochet, then you'll work a double crochet into the top of your chainless double crochet. Also remember, if you need to slow down, you can up in the upper right hand corner hit the slow down toggle switch. You can pause, you can rewind, all of those things. Because I do know I sometimes work really fast in the videos. Okay, so there we go. Now you can see we work 3 gaps there. Now we're going to work row 5. Turn your work, chain 3 or chainless double crochet. Work 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. And I will get back to you when I have worked 1 double crochet in the next 6 stitches. Now you're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, work a double crochet into your next stitch, chain 1, skip the chain 1 and put a double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, work a double crochet into the next. You should have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 open chain 1 spaces. Now put a double crochet in every stitch across. At the end of this row, make sure to count that you have 18 double crochets worked. And then I will meet you when it's the beginning of row 6. Alright, row 6, chain 3, well, turn your work first, chain 3 or chainless double. Put 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to repeat this next part 7 times. We're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, so skip the stitch, work a double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the chain space, work a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain, double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain, put a double crochet into the next stitch. Chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip, and double crochet into the next stitch. You should have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open chain 1 spaces in this row. Complete the row with a double crochet in the last 4 stitches. You should have 16 double crochet, so make sure to count all of your double crochets for this row. Make sure you have 16. Round 7, turn your work, chain 3 or chainless double. Work 1 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to make 9 chain 1 openings. So let's start with a chain 1, skip the next stitch, skip this one, work into the next, chain 1, skip the chain and double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip, double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip, double crochet into the next. Where are we at here? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1. Remember, if you need to slow down the video, you can do that. If you need to pause it or rewind to catch up, if I'm moving too fast for you, those options are all available for you at the middle of the screen there if you tap your screen. So now we're at chain 1, skip the chain space, work a double crochet into the next. Sorry, that would be my little girl. She's really loud. Chain 1, skip the chain space, 1 double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip, work a double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip, work a double crochet into the next. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet in the last 2 stitches. You should have 14 double crochet this round. There we go. Turn your work. Make sure that you have 9 chain spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So turn your work. Row 8, we're going to repeat what we just did. So chain 3 or chainless double. Oops, I have no idea what I just did there. Pretty sure it was messing with me. Alright, so 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Chain 1, skip a stitch. Right here, skip your chain, work into the double. Chain 1, skip the chain, work into the next double. And you're going to repeat this across, making sure that you have 9 chain spaces. Okay, you're mimicking everything that we just did in the last round. So work accordingly so all of your chain spaces match up with the previous row chain spaces, and I'll get back with you when I've done that. I've worked all the way across, mimicking the last row, making sure all my chain spaces line up properly. Now we work 1 double crochet into the last 2 stitches, making sure at the end here that we count to make sure that we do have 14 stitches worked, or I should say 14 double crochets worked. There we go. Turn your work. Chain 3 or chainless double. Work 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, work into the chain 1 space here, 3, work in the next stitch, 4. Now we're going to chain 1, skip the chain space, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, work a double crochet into the next stitch. You see that there? So we only made 2 chain 1 spaces this round. Okay, right there. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 6 stitches. This is including our chain 1 spaces that will be included in our 6 count. So double crochet into the next chain 1 space, double crochet into the next stitch. That's 2. Double crochet, 3, double crochet in the next stitch, 4, double crochet in the chain. That's 5, and last into this stitch there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? I think I might have miscounted there. Nope, I didn't. Okay, that should be 7. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1, skip our chain space, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, double, skip chain, work a double into the next stitch. There you go. As you see, now we're going to work a double crochet into the last 5 stitches. So work into the next chain 1 space, a double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next, and then the next, and then into the last. Alright, so you should have 19 double crochets all together, 5 together on the ends, and then 7 in the middle, and then of course your chain 1 gaps, the double crochets there. Okay, so turn your work. Rows 10 through 12 are all very simple. I'm going to work row 10 with you, and then you're going to finish off 11 and 12, and I will meet you at the end of row 12. So here's row 10, chain 3 or chainless double crochet, work 1 double crochet into each stitch and into each chain 1 space. You should have 23 double crochets when you get to the end. Be sure you work in the chain 1 spaces, because now we're just closing it up. That's it. That's all there is to this pattern here. We've worked all the hard stuff. Now we just work a bunch of double crochets. Very simple. Don't forget those chain 1 spaces when you get to them. There's only 4 altogether on this row. Okay, so go ahead, finish out your row, turn your work, chain 3 or chainless double, whichever you prefer, and you're going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch across, and then again with round 12, turn your work, chain 3 or chainless double crochet, whichever you prefer, and work 1 double crochet into every stitch across. Be sure to, at the end of each round, count your stitches to make sure that you have 23 stitches. Alright, and I will get back to you when I have completed rows 11 and 12. Alright, so I've worked rows 11 and 12, doing a double crochet in each row, or each stitch for each row. And you might want to just give it a little tug here and there. You can see it kind of bows in right here, and that's just because we did all the chain work. That'll be a super easy fix if you block it. Okay, so if you hold it up against something, let me see if I have anything available, which I really don't. Let's try this. See if we can't see it better here. You can kind of see that it's a heart. Here's an idea for you. My husband suggested, being the wonderful man that he is, he really truly is a wonderful man, was to go in, and as you in the previous square you saw how we worked the picot stitch around the heart. He suggested going in and doing something like that to give it a better look. So if you'd like to, it's an idea. If you do it, make sure to tag me, Janelle, on the page when you do it. Tag me in your picture, and so yeah, I'd love to see those. If you decide to do that, if you do decide to go in and make a picot stitch all the way around. And then just, if you'd like to, add a border around your square too. I think a picot stitch would look great as a border even. So anyway, there's number 46, y'all. This is the heart jacket. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please do subscribe so you can get a daily video from us every single day. And yeah, so until next time, everybody, happy hooking, y'all.